welcome to this preview of Cherries at home, first game of the Premier League season against Aston Villa. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
And I'm Tigz.
And if you're new here, this is Back of the Net. We are the only, actually we're not the only fan channel anymore, but we're the home of AFC Bournemouth fan content. And look, if you're a Villa fan or a fan of a Premier League club, or you're a cherry yet to subscribe, there's a little button, it's red and it's beautiful, Tigz. But they need to make it go away, right?
Yeah, come on, click it. You know you want to.
And Saturday, press refresh, because after full time, Tom, what do we do? What do we upload?
We normally have a little chat, and we call it the fan cams, don't we? Have a little chat about the game, about the victory, obviously, as we all hope, and talk to fans. And you're more than welcome to come over if you're a Bournemouth fan, or even if you're a Villa fan, to be fair, you can come over. Yeah. But yeah, check that out. That goes out very sharpish after the game, doesn't it? That pure, that raw reaction. And that's what we want.
Sometimes it's everyone's happy, other times Tigz, not so much. You're going to be on the cam, chatting to fans, and it's a free-for-all, which means anyone can get involved. So just outside the 1910 bar, there's a little exit to the car park. Tigz is going to be on the other side of the fence, and anyone's welcome. It doesn't matter what shirt colour they're wearing, whether it's claret and blue, red and black, lilac.
What would you call that?
I don't know what you call that.
Lavendery.
I don't know.
But shall we talk about these kits?
They're beautiful, aren't they?
Come on, let's briefly talk about them.
Oh, beautiful. I really like this one.
Yeah.
So I like the palm trees.
Yeah.
I got to admit. And I think they've done a nice job on the sponsor on each one, actually, making the sponsor look quite nice and fit in.
Yeah, I agree.
Tom's is a little bit special because it's got that special message on the back, and it's got
everyone together on the back.
I really like your sleeves.
Yeah, I like this. The little touch on the sleeves, very nice on both sides. But I actually think all of them in person are better than I thought. I think that one looks lighter than I expected.
Yeah.
In person, I'd say. But the red one that we all kind of were, that was the one that was probably a bit more hit and miss. But it is definitely better in the flesh, I would say. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with this one as well.
So this is a preview show, and for every preview show this season, we're going to be on location, which means we're going to be in and around lots of places around the BCP area, whether it's businesses, landmarks, cafes, pubs, parks, you name it, we'll be there. We put out a tweet about a month ago asking people, can we do a show at your workplace or at your place or at your venue, and you can get involved in on it. And it's great because we've had such a good response, but we couldn't not start at the Pear at Parley that treated us so well last season, didn't they, Tom?
Yeah, we got to start here. We love it here. There's a plane just about to come over, as it always is, which I think everyone deep down they love. Maybe not you, Sam. But yeah, lovely place, and we're out here in the beer garden as always. And yeah, it was only felt right to start the season how we ended the last as it went so successfully. So yeah, cheers to the Pear.
So we're going to keep these preview shows relatively short, Tigz. We'll keep them to half an hour, and also I think we should maybe do Premier League teams a favour by maybe concentrating more on them than us, because look, there are lots of different content sources of AFC Bournemouth on YouTube, online, so we know quite a lot about us. Of course we'll reflect on what AFC Bournemouth are going to do, but we also want to take a look at our opposition as well. So we're going to take in our thoughts of Aston Villa. We'll take in their thoughts about us as well. That'll be really interesting.
Okay, that's good.
We'll also, of course, give you some match background too. We'll give you some predictions. I dread to think what the predictions are going to be after this one. And also the team lineups as well. And look, we're going to start, Villa fans, Bournemouth fans, with Aston Villa. When you think of Villa, what your just overriding thoughts when you think of Aston Villa as a club, as a team, as a fan base?
Okay.
Is it fairly positive?
Yeah, generally quite positive. Yeah, I've always enjoyed visits there. To be fair, we've always had good games against them. They've never been a team that, in recent history, have kind of blown us away. So it's competitive for us. So when you think about our journey on the road, there are some games you go to and you think, I don't really want to. Do I really want to go that far up the M1 to be hammered? But Villa, no. I enjoy playing them, and their fans are always really nice as well. I think generally the fans in the Midlands, the Birmingham Villa, fans have always been very nice to us.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they're almost in that second batch. You've got like that top six, and then you've got big clubs that have maybe feel like there's still room to grow in terms of obviously Everton, particularly at the moment, Aston Villa, Newcastle, West Ham, that kind of next batch that are probably a bit easier to be likeable because they're not winning stuff, which I'm sure Villa fans want to do. And obviously they're going through a bit of a reset now, and with Gerrard coming in, and they'll certainly be looking for top 10 finish, I would, and start knocking on that door for them, that European place, that 7th, 8th kind of spot, I think. But it won't be easy, but they have got a good squad, mate.
Tigz, what do you think of their manager? Would you go out for a pint with him? Steve Gerrard, would you?
Maybe. Yeah, I think maybe. I think he's got a lot of stories to tell, hasn't he? We've done a video on this already, haven't we?
We have,
yeah. I think he'd be all right. I think he'd be okay. I think after you get a few drinks in him, I think he'd loosen up. It's interesting that the persona that the managers put out, we could talk about our own, but we probably will do later on, about what they like publicly and what they like privately. And I think privately he's probably quite a good crack. But he certainly seems to be a guy for me who's got very high standards, and that's something that if you speak to anyone to do with Villa, or when I have, they always say that he's truly setting the bar high, and he expects a lot from them. So I echo exactly what Tom said. Really, they'll be aiming really high for this season.
Yeah, I think Gerrard, like to say, will have a lot of stories, which would be good, and get a few drinks on and say, what happened to the golden generation? Why didn't England win anything? We had Lampard, I'd have a beer with him for sure.
Can you remember the last time he was at Dean Court?
Oh God, he would have been playing, I guess.
Yeah, he would have.
Trying to think of the Liverpool game he would have played at. I mean, they definitely would have. Oh, he didn't play in the. Did he play when we beat him? He wasn't playing then, was he? No. They would have beaten us. Would it have been when we had him in the cup?
The
when
cup,
we were in the championship.
I remember that.
3-1.
Well, we played him in the FA Cup where we lost 2-0, but also it was the quarter-final of the League Cup. That was December 2014.
I remember that very well.
Yeah, we got a consolation goal, didn't we?
I spilt a coffee down my front. I remember that really well.
Memories of Gerrard.
What do you admire about Villa? Anything you admire?
I think the way that they, as a club, have since gaining promotion, which is pretty recent in my memory, to be fair, because I think about our journey and I can sort of look at theirs next to it, and I think about the players like Mingsy, for example, who went over there. The way that they've season on season made those incremental changes. They haven't tried to go crazy. They haven't tried to go, okay, we're going to change the whole team. They've made those very gradual changes to make a very strong unit that really understands how the manager wants them to play. And where they've changed manager, he seems to have picked up the baton and ran pretty well with it.
Yeah, I think, and what they did with Grealish in particular, of kind of getting a lot out of him, and he stayed with them for a long time, and he's a Villa lad. But when Man City come in, a lot of money, they went, you've deserved this opportunity, Jack. And the owner come out, didn't he, and said quite publicly that can't turn it down, but we're going to use that in the squad, and they filled in lots of gaps with it. And it doesn't feel like they've, really, you think how good Jack Grealish is, you think, God, that's going to send Villa. But it hasn't made them any worse, because I think they've recruited really well. And as we were saying earlier, they seem to be a well-run club now, and I think they're on the right trajectory, if you like.
What don't you like about them? Anything you don't
I'll tell you what, the last time they came to visit us, there was a bit of a hoo-ha.
Was there?
If I remember rightly, in the executive area.
Oh, yeah.
What happened there?
Well, Grealish's family were there.
I
think they were getting really shouting down, and they were asked to leave.
We beat them 2-1, didn't we?
We beat them 2-1.
Lerma got sent off. It's when Ake and Billing scored for us, I think.
And that I remember that Samatta, I think that was his only ever goal for Villa.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and it was against us, and we were hanging on. But that was the game I remember. Fletch coming on, doing the huddle.
That's right.
And we were like, we're going to stay up, and then COVID hit, didn't it?
That's right.
But picking up from that, when I think of Villa, unfortunately, I think that goal for Sheffield United, Nyland in goal. That's what it makes me think of. They finished the point above us, and that hurts, that stings. But we're back up there now. So, but yeah, I like Villa in general. But yeah, that's the one thing I don't like.
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, which is not really Villa's fault. It happened. They got to take it. And then Mings. I always think of Mings, and I always feel how weird it is that 1 minute he's really loved, and he's done a lot of good work off the pitch as well, and he's good with the fans. And the next minute he's turning up full Villa kit when he was still a Bournemouth player.
Well, he won the play. Was that after he won the playoff final?
Yeah.
He came back on the train.
Yeah, that was it.
In full Villa kit at Bournemouth.
And he was still a Bournemouth player at that time. He was only on loan. And then you think he wasn't that good for us, but then we did get a lot of money for him. And then you think, oh, now he's the Villa captain. Now he's been stripped of the captaincy, and his place looks on the line. It's a weird one with me, because I'm not sure what reception he'll get, to be honest.
People talk about it a lot. They still talk about it now. You hear people like say, why didn't Tyrone Mings play enough for Bournemouth? Simple fact, there was just one player who played exactly the same position as him, did exactly the same role as him, and was better than him. Yeah. And that was Ake, and and we made a lot of money for the both of them, to be fair, when you think we sold them on for. So they were unique style of player. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think for without talking about Mings too much, I think the biggest problem for him was he got himself injured, didn't he, in his debut for us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Put him out.
Leicester at home,
yeah, we brought somebody else in. and he just fell down the pecking order. Yeah.
So with that in mind,
shout for Danny Ings, by the way.
Yeah,
come
Danny
through
Ings,
our
of
academy
course.
and stuff, and he's obviously still there. Don't know how long he'll be there. There's murmurings
I've heard
of
it, yeah.
but he was great. For
wasn't
us.
that where Ijani Birchall went as well?
Oh yeah, Johnny Birchall went to Villa, didn't he?
Joined their development.
Yeah, joined the development
Yeah.
squad, but yeah, don't know what's happening.
If any Villa fans are watching this, do you know who he is at all?
Yeah.
Is it a name ever come up? Just be interested to know.
So, all right, with that in mind, I take it won't be Mings. Who's the one player, if you could have him, who would it be? I mean, I know who mine is. I know this is me firing out the questions. I will get more involved in the conversation, I promise, but I am doing a bit of a Magnus Magnuson quick fire round here. But if you could have one player from him,
It's difficult because you're trying to think what we want as well, like what we need.
What we need, yeah.
I could say a couple that spring to mind for me if you want. One of the centre halves, Konza, fairly young English centre half, and just because we're screaming out for centre halves, that's my only reason. Is because we're screaming out for centre half. But I mean, it's got to be for that magic. It's got to be Coutinho.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It's got to be Coutinho.
Yeah.
Buendia, to be fair, is decent as well. But that sort of player, you like a player that's got a bit of spark. He'll get the fans off their seats. So Coutinho, I think, has got to be. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think I agree.
Yeah.
I think they've signed someone else recently, like a Chelsea player, haven't they?
they've signed defender Diego Carlos from Sevilla.
And they've just
That was
signed.
26 million, I think.
Yeah.
Could do with a
And
defender.
they've just signed, I don't want to try and pronounce his name, Chukwuemeka. They've literally just signed him from Chelsea.
Is he
No,
Chelsea?
sorry. He's just left them for Chelsea.
Oh, has he just left them?
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
okay, yeah.
The young lad, and that's what you were saying earlier about Gerrard being quite cutthroat.
Yeah.
Is because he's like a young player that's coming through and highly rated, and he wanted like £100,000 a week, and Gerrard went, no.
No.
You don't earn that yet, so he's gone to Chelsea to go to their academy.
Also, Robin Olsen, the goalkeeper from Marseille,
Marseille,
15
signed
million. Also, Ludwig Augustinsson from Sevilla as well, on loan. So
back
lots
up.
of Spanish connections. Also, Steven Gerrard went back to his old club and signed young Rangers striker Rory Wilson as well on a free transfer. Look, we're going to talk about who's injured and who's not. Keenan Davis and Courtney House have been injured. Isn't he one that we've been linked with? Well,
Courtney House, yeah.
Of course, we chatted about this on yesterday's show, but
murmurings of Courtney House, yeah.
Murmurings.
He seems to
loose
be
rumours.
Yeah, he seems to be down the pecking order at Villa. They've got, as we alluded to there, they've got Konza and now Diego Carlos. They've also got Mings. They've still got Callum Chambers as well. So Courtney House has dropped right down. But he has had Premier League minutes. He was at Wolves before, I think, and he's one that I don't know if it's like that kind of lazy journalism of Bournemouth need a defender. He can't play. He's not playing. But there's been little murmurings about him. I don't know an awful lot about him, but he's had a decent career so far. So, yeah, if any Villa fans want to say how rated he is and why he's so low down the pecking order, let us know.
One thing that did catch my eye a few weeks back, I'd love to know more details on this, is of course they've made a little change in terms of the leadership structure of the squad. So Mings, he's not the captain, is he, anymore?
No.
And the new guy, Diego Carlos, he's coming as vice captain.
Yeah, it's John McGinn, yeah.
So that's quite a big
Weird.
little shake about, isn't it? But I think Tyrone come out and say it's all fine.
I mean,
all right.
he's quite good PR-wise, isn't he, Mings, to be fair. But I think Gerrard kind of said, Mings probably felt the burn of that last season. I want him to concentrate on playing and not have that over him. I personally think, he's going to say that, I personally think he's probably not guaranteed to start now because they've brought in Carlos. So I think that's probably, you don't normally have a captain who's not guaranteed to start. I think it's probably more that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So, what about their views on us then?
Ooh.
This is interesting. And we're going to listen and watch some lads from the UTV podcast, the Up the Villa podcast, to hear what they think about Bournemouth and what they think about this weekend. And we'll comment on whether we think they're right. Here we go.
Well, I'm going to stick my neck out here and say this is a nailed-on Villa win. I know we've gone early, but looking at the fixture list and how they have gone about their pre-season and what's happened to them, if you look into it a bit deeply, they are in a pretty woeful position at the moment. Their manager's come out and basically slated with the position they're in. I've got some quotes here. It says, "We are short at the moment. That is very, very clear. We are 6 days out from the start of the Premier League season and we are well short of where we need to be. That is the cold, hard facts. We all need to try and do what we can to get some help in." Now, if you're going to any club where the manager's saying that just before you're playing them, you know that they are in big trouble. The only other thing it could have gone any better was playing them at home. So the only thing they've got in their favour now is like you say, is a passionate home fan crowd. No games have gone. It's the first game of the season. They haven't got loss after loss after loss behind them. So they've got hope. They will have hope, and that first whistle will go, and their fans will get behind them. It's a very small stadium. It creates a pretty raucous atmosphere. There's not going to be many Villa fans there. That's their only hope for me, is that the fans can get some kind of momentum going, and the players on the pitch can have nothing to fear, which they haven't really. That's probably the only worry, really. They've got nothing to fear. They know their backs against the wall. They know they haven't got the reinforcements or the players that they probably wanted to get in. So it's for me, it's got very much of a cup game feel to it, like we've drawn against like a lower league side in the cup, and we should go and win. But obviously, football's football, and you never know what could happen. But if we're professional and we're anything like we're looking like in the pre-season, and anything like that the manager's sort of intimating that he wants us to go out and be like, and with the players we have and we've recruited and we already have in the squad, we've got to go and win this game comfortably for me.
So that's Justin Hawthorne from the UTV podcast Up the Villa. Has to be a nailed-on win, Tom. They are confident. And you know what? A lot of the things he was saying, though, are probably bang on, really.
Yeah, I think if I was a Villa fan, I don't disagree with what he's saying from their point of view. They're looking at it from a outside point of view from Bournemouth and thinking, oh God, they look like they're saying they're short. They're openly saying it. We've had a good pre-season from our end. They haven't had a very good one. They've lost their last 3 pre-season games. We've got to be looking to win. So I totally agree with what he's saying. And he's probably right in thinking that our main thing is we've got that home crowd. You know, we could frustrate them a little bit. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind if we did play it a bit like a cup game when we're playing against a bigger team, and that we are anyway, and kind of go with it like that. But yeah, they'll be, not being funny, they're going to be looking at it thinking they've got to win this game, for sure. From our perspective, I think we've got to look to frustrate them, make ourselves hard to break down, and then the more they open up, you never know, we have got good players, Dom Solanke and people like that can cause problems still. So yeah, I don't think it's nailed on, but I totally appreciate what he's saying, and it's going to be a tough game for us.
Are they underestimating us, do you reckon? Maybe a little bit?
Maybe a little bit, yeah. I think the way that we know that the way that we're being set up to play this season is a bit different from last season. Last season we expected to dominate teams. We're going in very aware that other teams are going to have probably a little bit more of the ball than we've been used to for the last couple of seasons. So, that's what our pre-season's been about. You forget about the results. Yeah. We've been preparing ourselves for the possibility, the likelihood, that the other team's going to have more of the ball than us. They're going to come at us. And our job is going to be using that front 3, essentially, to nick the ball and get on the counter and get a goal. And that's where people will... I do think people will underestimate us. We will get goals. Whether we can see out games, that's a different question.
Yeah. As a fan base, our moods, as we discussed on yesterday's video, it's flip-flopped so much so that on Tuesday afternoon, when people were reading a certain Dorset Live article, albeit rehashed, and throughout Wednesday, it was really negative. And then Wednesday evening comes and Dom Solanke's signed a new extension, and then Mark McAdam's tweeting about the fact that we're linked with 3 centre-backs, a new keeper from Barcelona and stuff, and now everyone's almost feeling happy again. So maybe that kind of recency of the good feeling, those good vibes, can continue into the game. Look, this is a completely different scenario, but obviously David Brooks' incredible news was released on the day of the Forest game.
Yeah, I think that's...
And it just contributed to a really good vibe around the camp. And
yeah.
You know what? How do we know that didn't get us over the line? But these little psychological games, you never know.
Sure, and I think the Dom Solanke news in particular is massive for us. To get him till 2026, I think it is great news. He's our main man, if you like. So I think that's been good timing on that as well from the club to announce that before the opening day. But I think if you're Villa, and like we said, the mood amongst us in terms of being linked with all these players is great for us and around the stadium. But I think, but you could equally say from Villa's point of view, but they're not, even if they get one of these centre, they're not going to be ready for the weekend. So from their point of view, they've got lucky there because we are going to be down to the bare bones in terms of defenders for this first game. We might get some players in soon, but they're not going to be playing this weekend. So yeah, from a Villa's point of view, they got to take advantage from that. They got to take advantage of that and think, Bournemouth down to this is the best time to play Bournemouth really before they've got these bodies in. So we're going to have that underdogs tag. We are going to have that underdog tag. But as I said, mate, I've been 30 years Bournemouth fan. We've only had 2 where we haven't been the underdogs, and they were the last 2. And I preferred being an underdog. I quite like it. I quite like everyone writing us off every prediction table saying we're going to come 20th. Yeah, I understand why people are saying it, but that's there for us to squash it again like we did. Remember before when we were in the Premier League for 1 season and we stayed there for 5.
And we've got a better squad this time round. Well, we've got maybe not better squad. Maybe not in terms of collective mentality and the siege mentality, but we've got players that have got Premier League experience, which we didn't really have last time.
Yeah, definitely we have.
And we've got a manager that's got Premier League know-how, whereas Eddie Howe didn't.
True. Very true.
Trying to be positive here, lads.
Yeah, no, I get you are, but I think the most positive thing we can say is, in very, very honest terms, in my opinion, is what Tom said, and what he said on that Villa video. We have got nothing to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Really,
month, really.
Everyone's writing us off. Everyone thinks we're down already. Yeah, that makes us dangerous.
Yeah,
because then Villa. He says they have to do a professional job. Yes, they bloody well do. Because otherwise, if they're complacent, that's when we will nip in. And you can say that about any other club as well.
Okay, so what are their thoughts on themselves? We go back to the Up the Villa podcast to see what they say.
Let's move on then. Bournemouth, opening day. We've been here before. Well, we have been here before and we won 1-0. Rudiger Stead scored and then we got relegated. So we won't talk about that one. Watford, last season. Started the season, loads of anticipation, and absolutely set the tone for the next 11 games. Absolutely woeful, right? So, starting this season on the front foot with intensity, belief is absolutely crucial, right? The stadium's tiny, but they'll make a load of noise. But I think it's vitally important we are 110% bang up for this game, because nothing other than a win is acceptable for me with our squad going into this season, right? I think we've got to make that absolutely clear that we have to go in and win this game, because it's so important for the Villa fans, the fan base, the players to get off to a really good start.
Nothing other than a win is acceptable for me. Do you reckon, Tigz, there are any teams?
No, they're all
that are going.
There are 19. There are 19 teams all saying that nothing other than a win against Bournemouth is acceptable. So, Aston Villa are in good company. That's interesting statistic, isn't it? They don't tend to do very well on the opening day.
Yeah, I like that. I remember, as soon as he said that, I thought, I remember that game. That was one of their only away wins of the whole season. It was Tim Sherwood, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you know what? We battered them as well.
Yeah, we played. I remember afterwards thinking that one, it was our first ever Premier League game, so we were relatively happy, and they just got a set piece, didn't they? But, they're going to expect a win, but, they might not know, from our perspective. I'll start the season after you guys, Villa. We've got Man City away, Arsenal at home, and Liverpool away. So from our perspective, we need to get something. We need to get something. The players know that. It's going to be very hard to win the 3 after, so we need to get something as well. So we'll be up for it, and we'll graft. I think whatever you think of the quality, etc., I think our boys will dig in and graft and try and get something out of this first game.
We take a draw.
Yeah,
I think I probably would. Yeah.
So that tells you a story there, doesn't it? I mean, you might be coming to win, but if we genuinely, I think Parker, the way Parker thinks, he could be thinking, I need a draw, I need some points.
Grind it out.
So it's not going to be easy.
And
we're not going to run it yet. We're not going to be like, we made this comparison before in a previous video, didn't we? Under Eddie Howe, how different the team was.
I think like Tigz said about kind of every team, and you said that every team's going to be expecting to beat us. I was just thinking then when you said, will you take a draw? I thought, will there be any game I wouldn't take a draw? Do you know what I mean? Let's just draw every game, get 40 points. Happy days.
Keep you up, yeah.
Right, so in terms of our Premier League record against Aston Villa, it's actually good.
Yeah, I was going to say.
1-3, lost 1.
That's great.
So, not bad at all. So we'll take that. Look, in terms of AFCB team news, Ryan Fredericks and Joe Rothwell, they're both likely to miss the game through injury. Of course, David Brooks is continuing his steady comeback as well. The referee in charge is Peter Banks. Last time we had him was away at Swansea in the 2020-21 season in the Championship. No idea what even happened there. I think that might have been a loss.
Was it? Well, I can't even remember that game at all.
Was that away?
Did we do the double on them when they got in the playoffs? That was with Steve Cooper, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like we might have done the double on them, you know. Let us know, because can't bother to check.
Yeah, can't bother. But anyway, yeah, we've got Peter Banks in charge as well. Right, let's move on to predictions. And as a Villa fan or a Bournemouth fan, we sort of know the usernames of most Bournemouth fans, but you know, if you've got one of these YouTube usernames and avatars that's not really clear, you might need to put Villa fan and then your prediction, and go for first goal scorer as well if you can. Bournemouth fans, do the same as well. Be really interested to know what you're thinking. And Villa fans, if you're watching and you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, why not give us a like? Because the free-for-all will be out after the game on Saturday, and also the matchday vlog as well, containing all your goals. Or hopefully not. That'll be on Sunday. And also we'll have a show to wrap it all up as well on the start of the following week. Guys, Tigz, got any thoughts on what you think?
I've got a head and a heart, mate. So you know, my head is saying, look, we've been very open about the fact that we need to recruit still.
Yeah.
You know, and our recruitment won't be done until September. So let's be honest, right? It's very difficult to judge our recruitment fairly until the deadline's passed. However, I can't predict us to lose, and I don't. I've got to give us. The rest of the month is so dreadful in terms of fixtures.
You need to go on there.
Yeah. So I would probably. My head says I'd take a draw, but I want us to win. So my prediction will be a 1-0 Bournemouth win.
So funny, because I was sat here and you were talking about predictions, and I went, I'm going to say I've got a head and a heart, which is exactly what Tigz said. And then I thought, and I'll just go in my heart, which is going to be we're going to nick it 1-0. That's exactly what I was going to say. My head, if I had to put money on it, I'm going 2-0 Villa. I'm going to be honest, but I ain't coming on this. I ain't doing this channel and predicting us to lose. We'll nick it 1-0 Dom Solanke. I'm
going down the middle, going for a 2-2 draw against a Midland side at the start of the season, just like last season. But this time it will be
West Brom.
Villa rather than West Brom, and I'm going to go for a cheeky 2-2. Really, it's performance that I'm concerned about, because so far when I've seen us play 5 at the back, 3 at the back,
/5,
it's never been that good. But we'll see how it goes in terms of team lineup, Tom. I think we should. And you know what? This season I might even. Shall I get you to predict the team we're playing as well?
Yeah, go on then. I'll give it a go. Yeah, I'll give it a go. I'll get pelters from the away fans, but I'll give it a go.
All right.
I'll do it all off the dome as well. I'm not going to look at anything.
Tigz,
I'm just going to sit back and watch, buddy. This is incredible.
Do you want to click your fingers, then we'll bring up Chosen 11? Go on.
Lovely stuff.
You've got the touch.
Thanks, buddy.
A magic touch, and there we go. Right, you'll see the formation has been tentatively put into this shape here. Is that right?
We're doing Bournemouth first?
Yeah, we'll do Bournemouth first.
I think, I don't know if you agree, Tigz, but I think we've got to go for this sort of formation, because that's the way we've played pre-season and the way it looks like we're going to go with that kind of back 3/5. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how the midfield kind of moulds. That will move around a bit. At the moment, it kind of looks like 2 central midfielders and like a front 3. But them 2 players that are currently on the screen, say player 9 and 10, might come narrow. Yeah, they might not be natural wingers. They might tuck in a little bit.
Yeah. Elbow.
And it might go a little bit like that, and Dom will come back, and maybe Dom. But yeah, that sort of system, we'll go with that for now. Yeah.
All right. In goal then.
We've only got 1 goalkeeper at the club currently, so Mark Travers in goal.
Travers. Okay, and then let's go 3 centre backs then.
That's the hardest bit, though.
It's the hardest bit. I've thought about this, because I think there's, especially Bournemouth fans, if you're watching, you're going, is he going to move Lerma back to the back 3, or is he going to use him in the midfield? I think Rothwell being out is quite key, so I think he'll keep Lerma in midfield. So I'm going to go the back 3. I'm going to go Mepham in the middle. I'm going to put Chris Mepham in the middle. To the right of him will be James Hill. Wow.
So a guy that played 1 minute at Barnsley.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why I put his first name in.
There's certain players like that, isn't there? I always think it with, Barnes at Leicester. Everyone calls him Harvey Barnes. You never say Barnes, it was Harvey Barnes.
That's true. That's true.
I always say Lewis Cook as well. I never say Cook.
Yeah, I suppose that's because.
So that might be and then obviously Captain Lloyd Kelly, left centre back. Wing backs, we will have Zamora on the left.
Jordan Zamora.
We have brought in Marcus Tavernier, who can play there, but I don't think he hasn't played a minute for us yet.
I'm going to change it back to Hill just for some consistency and uniformity.
Yeah, so it's annoying you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is annoying. It is really nice.
Zamora's the one to watch, in my opinion, Villa fans, by the way.
Good shout. Yeah, good shout. And I think when we go onto their team, they've got Matty Cash on that right side who will bomb on, and you've got to be wary of Zamora because Zamora will get forward. Adam Smith will be right wing back. There's also a chance of Smithy moving inside, by the way, and Stacey coming in, but I think at the moment it'll be Smithy. 2 in the middle, I think kind of more of a double pivot really. I think will be Lewis Cook, player 6, and Lerma, player 5. So yeah, Cook and Lerma, will be the 2. But like I say, don't be surprised if Lerma drops back, but I'm going to go with them 2 because of Rothwell being out. I'm going to go to the right slightly, but like we said, it's going to be narrow Ryan Christie.
Yeah.
This is another one that could be, but I don't think he's going to play Anthony. I think he's going to play Philip Billing.
Okay.
Because I think he's going to tuck him in. I think he's going to play Billing, and then obviously Dom Solanke through the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few in there that could change. I think personnel-wise, only really what he could do is take out Hill, move Lerma back, move Billing back, and put Anthony in.
Yeah, exactly.
But apart from that, I can't see anything else. Because Stanislas, even though he come on and perform well, I just don't see him starting. No. Same with Kiefer Moore. I think they're going to be more. I think if we need a goal and we're chasing the game, I think they could be 2 of the early subs.
Got to look after Stan.
Yeah, really. Exactly. So I'm going to go with that. But it wouldn't shock me if it was, as I say, Anthony in for Hill and there's a bit of a rejig. But that's what I think. I think the Rothwell being out is quite key to that.
Yeah. Okay. So next then, mate, we're going to do Aston Villa. And look, what
keep it like that, relatively.
Yeah, formation-wise, let's keep it like that. And right, so they play a what? It's like a.
It's kind of a 4-3-3.
4-3-3.
But you have one sitting a little bit deeper, so that's all right. I like how it's got there. Yeah, I like that. In goal, their goalkeeper is Emi Martinez, so he'll play in goal.
Villa fans, go on.
Doing my best to remember everyone. Back 4, I think Matty Cash will be right back. Cash at right back. I've just done that as well. It's Matty Cash. It was Matty Cash.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
Cash.
Never just Cash.
If you want to go left back, Lucas Digne,
Yeah.
the one that was at Everton.
Yeah.
I don't think Mings is going to play. Be interested to see what Villa fans say. I think Diego Carlos will be that left centre back.
Yeah.
To be honest, and then I think it will be Konza.
Yeah.
K. I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Konza. SA. If you want to be, I know what you're like. Go to the SA. I'm even
get
getting a spelling lesson as well. Yeah, Konza. The one sitting deep, I think they've bought in a lad called Kamara.
Yeah.
Kamara with a K. They've bought him in, so I think he looks like he will sit there, and then it will be McGinn and Douglas Luiz. I think will be the 2 in the middle.
McGinn on the.
It'll be Luiz here.
Yeah. Luiz
yeah,
on
Douglas
the
Luiz. That's another one. Douglas Luiz.
Yeah.
And then McGinn. Who's obviously been named the captain now. I think that will be their midfield 3, but as I say, that can change. Well, they have got Jacob Ramsey, who's a young player who could potentially start.
But I've got a feeling I know their front 3 you're going to pick, and he said that it's a scary front 3, really.
Yeah, it's quite tough actually. I think Villa fans will tell you that Leon Bailey's had a really good pre-season. Apparently, I've heard this through doing fantasy football as well. He's quite cheap, and everyone's bringing him in on fantasy football. Leon Bailey, but I can't see how he starts this team. Let us know who we come in for, because I look at their front 3 and go, well, it's got to be Buendia off the right, Coutinho off the left. Yeah. So I don't see how Bailey gets in. Maybe Villa fans will tell me that it might be for Buendia. I don't know quite how he's getting on, because he probably hasn't hit the heights yet, has he, since Norwich?
Yeah.
But Coutinho's going to play off the left, surely.
Yeah.
I guess you could move Coutinho into the one of the central areas and maybe play Bailey, but I'll see what they say. And then I'm going to go Ollie Watkins up front. I think he's just ahead of Danny Ings at the moment. So that'll be mine. I mean, if I get that bang on, I'm never going to shut up about it. But yeah, that sort of team I would have thought in that sort of system. I know Douglas Luiz is a bit more defensive, so they could revert into a double pivot there. I think we've got to watch out for their fullbacks. Yeah. I think Cash and Digne really do bomb on. Could work in our favour if Zamora and that catch them, but equally we have to watch the other way because they're very good. So good team, that.
You need to be aware that if you do play FPL every week when we do our little Premier League show, we'll do a little section on FPL. Out of these 22 players, mate, if you're going to pick one for your FPL side, who's it going to be?
I mean,
against us.
Yeah,
in
this
game. 22 players, Bournemouth or
Villa.
Yeah. If I was going on this, I mean, like, again, I'll split it head and heart. My head would go probably Cash, because they could keep a clean sheet and he could get an attacking return as well with like an assist. I think Coutinho is always a good shout in any game. From our perspective, and I think of the price stuff, someone like a Billing or a Zamora might surprise you by getting an assist or a goal or something like that. Who knows? But I think if I was going with my head, I'd go one of the Villa back 4 or keeper probably.
There you go. There you go. Well, that is the preview. We're not telling you like pubs and predictions and Parker's presser and all that stuff. We're keeping it light.
Yeah, let us know what you think of that.
We need to keep it light this season. We've got a feeling that a kind of formulaic show, week in, week out, will make us feel very tired, especially after the end of this month, where we've got Man City, Liverpool. Oh, it's not good. But Tigz, it's a new season, and look, this could be the best we'll feel this season.
Oh, mate!
Come on, man. About 10 minutes ago, you're going, I'm just trying to get the positivity. No, it won't be. It won't be.
No, it won't be. We'll have good times and bad times. It's absolutely fine. And you know what? What will be will be.
Yeah.
It's trying to keep perspective throughout, and when you go into another club, then they're expecting to beat you. They've got their own. Everyone's got their own vision of the way this season's going to go.
Yeah.
Okay, and we've got to be honest with ourselves, and if everyone in the world appears to think that we're going to be ended up in 20th, 19th at best, is what I've seen, then we're in for an uphill struggle. But doesn't mean that we can't pick up.
Is that a new signing?
I think it's a new signing. You never know. No,
that's Neto, I think. Yeah. Waving.
Reiterate what Tigz said there. I think let's end on a positive. Look at last season, right? Brentford, small club, smallest club. Not many years in the Premier League. John Mayer haven't been in the Premier League and all that stuff, and they've gone up. They've got a striker who you think, can he cut it at the Premier League? He scored loads in the Championship.
Yeah.
He can. Ivan Toney, siege mentality, smallish stadium, and they were unbelievable. They were unbelievable, and they didn't bring in loads of players. So it can happen, mate.
And the last time we went up, we didn't go out and spend a fortune, did we?
No. First away game, I remember the opposition singing, "You're only here for the season." 5 years later,
we're winning 3-0. What do you think? Let us know.
Take a draw. Nah, I'm out. No, not taking a draw.
And remember, this man is going to be outside the 1910, taking the fan cam opinion at full time.
I'll be wearing this. You can't miss me.
You won't get to miss
Also, people in the comments as well, can you tell us which, Villa fans as well, which of the three shirts you like the most? Do not comment on the models themselves, please.
I mean, you're welcome to. Try and guess who's bringing the average age down in the group as well, while you're at it.
So the next one. Up the chest.
Up the chest.